Hey there everyone. This is the second of a two-parter which I'll be releasing this weekend, where I'll be covering another 5 questions. As ever, I'd really appreciate it if you carry on liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. The first topic I'd like to talk to you about is bullying. I was bullied at school, and I can tell you for a fact that it negatively impacted my thinking at the time, and it most definitely contributed to me developing an eating disorder. I managed to deal with the bullying, but it was too late. The damage had already been done and it was permanent. And I was already on track to developing an eating disorder. So looking back from personal experience, what I can tell you is try to nip it in the bud early. Tell your teachers what's going on and let them know that it's negatively impacting the way you're thinking at that time. And if your teachers care, they'll do something about it, which, believe me, they will. If you feel that not enough is being done or nothing's being done at all, go and tell the teachers again, or go and tell the headmaster or headmistress that not enough is being done, or go to your parents, because believe me, if teachers don't fear you, they bloody well fear your parents. So don't feel as though you have to fight this alone. You are not alone. Your parents and teachers are there for you. The next topic I'd like to cover is the topic of food hiding. As I said before in my previous video, I'm not a pro-anorexic, and therefore I will not be giving you any tips on how to hide food. What I can tell you is how I managed to try and stop it. I was a notorious food hider. I'd hide food at any given opportunity, whether it be eating at school or at home, or even eating out, even though that was a very rare occurrence. And one of the things that oddly really did help me was to try and make my food hiding as obvious as it could be. And what this meant was that people came to me and confronted me and said, "Simon, look, what are you doing?" I felt quite guilty at the time for doing it, but that was my anorexia talking, not me. And looking back on it now, it really did positively influence my outcome. As well as that, you should go and talk to your therapist about this to sort of how to stop the food hiding altogether. And when I was talking to my therapist, it really did help me think about things from a logical perspective and from an objective point of view. And I came out of every session thinking, yeah, I can do this. I can really do this. And that thing carried on. The next thing I want to talk about is quite a unique question that I've got, and it's from someone who said that their friend has become anorexic and is going into an inpatient unit, and it makes them feel that they're going to trigger into a relapse because of it. They feel as though they're the one to blame for their friend becoming anorexic. And the only thing I can say is you cannot allow something like this to negatively impact on your treatment. You are not the one to blame, no matter what you think. You're a very fragile state of mind at the moment, and anything could set you off. It's just a matter of you being able to realise that this isn't your fault, and therefore you cannot be the one to blame if it happens. If you feel that this may be driving your relapse, I urge you to go and contact Beat, which I've posted on another video. It's beat.co.uk, or, as I've said before, talk to your therapist about it. Another thing is other things that could go and trigger a relapse, and I'd just like to talk about a few personal experiences in my life that nearly made me trigger into a relapse. The first thing was when one of my best friends in Woodhouse College, my A-level college, he died of brain cancer. That hit me hard. That was awful. And for some odd and absurd reason, I felt as though I was the one to blame for his death. And people were saying, "No, Simon, you're not." I'd go to my therapist and they'd say, "Well, obviously you're not." And just being able to hear those words come out of someone else's mouth, it made me realise, yeah, I'm not the one to blame, so therefore I shouldn't be trying to limit my food intake because of it. The other very personal experience that happened to me was when my mother, she became an alcoholic. And this was due to her night duty for many, many, many years. as well as what we think was her postnatal depression. But at the time, I thought that she became an alcoholic because of me being anorexic. And obviously, she was a bit depressed about it, but I couldn't take the blame for her becoming an alcoholic because at the end of the day, that would be disastrous for my treatment. And, again, I urge you to not feel as though you're the one at fault. The last question on this second of a two-parter is the topic of overexercising. As I posted in my last video, having a six-pack isn't everything. And as I said before about food hiding, I tried to make my overexercising as obvious as possible. So, for example, I remember, I was running around in my room continuously, and I would just be making these thumping noises in my room, such that my parents could hear it, and that would mean they'd come upstairs and say, "Stop it." As well as that, when I was at school, I had a few good friends who I knew I could confide in, and they would physically stop me from, jiggling my legs or doing unnecessary walking up and down hills, for example. And, just having someone there, someone that will be there if you feel as though you're going to slip up, is brilliant. Another thing that definitely helped me was to try and preoccupy your anorexic thoughts. Things that I did, for example, were things like model making or, just playing video games. Just anything that could take my mind off concentrating on food or thinking about overexercising really did help me. I'm aware that I haven't fully answered this question because it's such a massive topic. But if you have any more specific questions with regards to overexercising, please comment below because I know there are other things to talk about. But yeah, I hope you have a brilliant weekend, and I look forward to making my next video, which will be posted next Saturday or Sunday. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you.